Hello everyone, Merlin here, bringing you another Partworks video. So, Hachette has released yet another Warhammer themed Partworks. This time we return to the 41st millennium and we see the release of this, Combat Patrol. So, this is issue 1, of course. What is Combat Patrol? Well, as you may or may not know, Combat Patrol is Games Workshop sort of introductory level. It's 500-ish points, little armies that fight on a smaller battlefield than usual games, and takes around an hour or so to play. So what Partworks magazine is going to be doing is giving you not one, not two, not even 3 or 4, but a grand total of 9, something like that, 9 different combat patrols for you to collect, paint, and play with. Well, we kind of know the order they're coming out in due to the premium kits. The only one that's up to debate is Chaos Space Marines or World Eaters, whether that be first or one of the last ones to come out, because we get the Demon Prince in the second premium kit, and that is used for both the Chaos Space Marine faction and the World Eaters faction. So yeah, I've picked up an extra issue 1 just so I can get a quick review out the way early. This will probably just be a short unboxing. I don't think I want to go too much into detail. I'll save that for when my actual delivery arrives. And yeah, we'll start the series off correctly. So yeah, before we dive into the issue, big thank you to all of my supporters in my period of unwellness recently. I'm still suffering a little bit of a trapped nerve, but it's not as bad. I'm now able to actually get up and do stuff. I'm even back attending events at my local gaming store, so big shout out to Bridge Troll Hobbies. And yeah, I'm getting back on track for filming. The only slight problem is, as you might have guessed, is I'm in my hobby room upstairs. That's because the heater is on again for keeping our kitchen warm during, well, the entire year, because it's subject to damp. I'm back upstairs where it's a bit cooler. So yeah, other than that, check out all the links as usual in the video description. Patreon is still up and running if you want to pop over there and have a look, but I haven't actually posted anything in a while. So I'm going to work on sharing the get started stuff that's currently on YouTube back up to there, so it's going to be up to date and I can start posting out episodes on both formats at the same time in the near future. Right, I think that's enough of a ramble for an introduction, so let's unbox and have a quick look through Combat Patrol issue 1. Right then, here is issue 1 of Combat Patrol magazine. So we get a Space Marine Captain and a Winged Tyranid Prime. So these are just the bog standard models that come with our starter sets, as well as the old Leviathan box. We get 6 standard D6 there, plus we get our first battle mat. So flipping over to the back, we get a little bit of what we can expect for the rest of the magazine run. So, take command of elite forces within the grim darkness of the far future. Building armies of stunning miniatures, paint and learn to master them in thrilling tabletop battles. Upgrade your games with essential cards offering you terrain, rules, references, data sheets and more for your models. So you build and assemble your forces, you paint them, giving them awesome paint jobs using the paints supplied to the magazine. Read all about the rich universe of the 41st millennium. Collect, personalize your armies by giving them names and backgrounds, and of course we have play scenarios where we learn the ins and outs of the game before we are, well, pretty much ready to play full Combat Patrol games once we reach the end of the first lot of issues. Returning lore, so we actually see the return of the Silver Templars, but we're going to be hopefully offered some more in-depth background about the chapter. Hopefully we might even get paint guides as well throughout the later issues. So yeah, learn about their how they fight, greatest battles, as well as never before seen content from this collection. We also get a peek at what issue 2 offers us. So issue 2 gives us 3 Von Ryan's Leapers for a bargain price of $6.99. So yeah, right, I think I've rambled on enough. So let's rip this off. And we can take a look inside the packaging. So, pull everything out. So let's get the little dice out of the way first. And yeah, just your bog standard D6. That is absolute terrible. 4 1s, a 2 and a 4. I mean, that's about as bad, if not worse, than my saving throws for my battle I did just between the captain and the psychophage for Get Started, where I rolled, I think, all 1s for his save, and yeah, he died in 1 turn. But yeah, so we get a pretty more even starting force. So we get the Winged Tyranid Prime and the Space Marine Captain, 2 powerhouse character models, and yeah, perfect for our getting started sort of issues. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with this captain or what colour scheme I'm going to be painting for the magazine. I've got a few in mind that I might do. But yeah, I've got plenty of captains for my other Space Marine armies, so really it's only falling short to starting a brand new force just for this collection. Seeing as we only get a small amount of models, I might do that, so I haven't decided yet. But yeah. And yeah, the Tyranid Prime, so this guy is a pretty cool model. I'm actually thinking of digging through my Tyranid bits and perhaps giving this guy, taking the wings off and giving him some awesome weapons from my spare Tyranid Warriors frame, just to make him a little different, and so he can hopefully stand out better as a Prime compared to the one you get in the actual Tyranid Warriors box set. So yeah, there's those. 2 50mm bases for them to go on. And now we can start looking at our paperwork. So we get our first issue. We'll take a look at that in just a sec. We get a breakdown of the collection in a foldout. We'll have a look at that again in just a sec. And we have our first battle mat. So these are the, I think, full-size Combat Patrol sort of battle mats, the smaller size. So we got a rather arid sort of battlefield with some sort of alien foliage and plenty of scattering stones. Yeah, it's not too bad. And then for our training side, because we've got 2 sides of the map, we have the interior of a Space Marine strike cruiser, which I think looks pretty cool. All sort of ripped up flooring and stuff, hazard striping, yeah, loads of really cool detail. So yeah, this is where most of our battles will be doing in the early stages as we learn to fight in like the interior of a Space Marine strike cruiser, as I said. So that's that. Next up then, so let's take a look at the fold-out for the collection. So we got an introduction again to the collection. Yeah, it's a phenomenon, worldwide, world famous. Combat Patrol is a chance to join in, learn to play, discover the universe, and assemble 9 fully combat-ready armies across 90 action-packed issues. So that really boils down to 1 Combat Patrol every 10 issues. Although they have said on the website that you'll get a full Combat Patrol force over 20 issues. So I'm thinking that means possibly the 2 armies will be complete after the 20 issues, with other armies being started around the same time as one's coming to its end. I don't know. Very strange wording they've used for some of these things. So subscriber gifts, if you do subscribe, like I have done, starting from issues 1, 2, 3 or 4, you will get 5 gifts. So a set of modelling clippers and a model line remover. No glue this time, which is strange. So you get small layer, large base and a small dry brush. So you bog standard base starting brushes. You get your first folder free. These will be $10.99 after your first one. So yeah, just be wary, you will be charged if you don't cancel these for yourself. You get an awesome Combat Patrol mug with the Combat Patrol logo and our first 2 heroes on the front and back. And one I'm looking forward to is the Primaris Company Champion, which comes with Delivery 7. And yeah, really cool model, nice dueling pose, looking forward to that. One thing they've only just revealed is we are going to be getting combat cards, which is kind of cool. So it gives us like terrain features, barrels, crates, tyrannid organisms, etc. to help bring your table battle mats even to life a little bit more. A little sad we're not getting actual physical terrain. Maybe some bright sparks can create things to put on top of these. But yeah, it's not too bad. Easy to use scenery pieces, vital rules, etc. I think you get 12 in issue 3, I believe. We'll see in a second. It'll show, I think, over the page. Yeah, that's that. And yeah, again, we got a breakdown of the collection there. So issue 5, we get an awesome Infernus Marine Sergeant, exclusive to the collection. We get our first set of paints in issue 4. So Wraithbone, Baron Burgundy, Macragge Blue, and your bog standard starter brush. And other than that, not too much to say there. Then we have a breakdown of the complete collection. So yeah, 9 complete armies week by week. So you get Space Marines, Tyrannids, the Leagues of Votan, Eldari, Astra Militarum, Genius Occults, Orcs, Chaos Space Marines, and World Eaters. Kind of weird, we're getting 2 Chaos Space Marine factions. I would have probably preferred Khorne Demons over World Eaters. But at least you do get some rather cool models. So we are getting an additional model or unit for all of the factions. Whether it's an additional character, like the Tyrannids and Space Marines, an additional unit, like the Chaos Terminators, or the Cadian Heavy Weapon teams. The one faction I'm looking forward to getting is the Eldari faction, because we get the Wraith Guard, as well as a Wraith Lord, so I'll be busting out the yellow and painting those as Craftword Iandon. The only factions I'm not too bothered by are the Astra Militarum, the Leagues of Votan, the World Eaters. Chaos Space Marines have actually got all of that still in a box unbuilt, so the only thing I want is the Chaos Terminators, so maybe I'll keep the extra 5 Havocs to have a unit of 10. But yeah, other than that, it's not too bad. It's pretty cool. Genius Occults I kind of like because it's the old Combat Patrol. So we get the Jackals as extras, but we get the Aberrants, the Metamorphs, and 2 units of 10 hybrids. The new Magus and the Rock Grinder truck, which is pretty cool. The Orc one looks fun as well. It's the old Orc Combat Patrol, so it's not the Beast Snagger one, it's the actual classic Orcs. Very reminiscent of the Assault on Black Reach, it's just missing the 5 knobs. So yeah, that's a pretty cool collection. Yeah, pretty cool. And of course we get a bunch of paints, additional brushes and stuff. Texture spreader are given in later issues. And the final thing then for this fold out is that beautiful Combat Patrol artwork, which is the 10th edition box artwork, which is nice. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be putting that up on my wall somewhere. So that looks really amazing, nice, detailed. piece of artwork there. And the only other thing I haven't shown off is the premium kits. So for paying £2 extra per issue, you get 4 premium kits over the 90 issue run. You get premium kit 1 of a Brutalis Dreadnought and Hive Tyrant at issue 15. Issue 38, I believe, you get the Demon Prince and the Howling Banshees. So we're seeing the Eldar and Chaos Space Marines are going to be the second double army introduced. Premium Kit 3, we get the Brokir, Thunderkin, and the Killer Cans. So the Leaves of Atan and Orcs are going to be introduced there. And finally, the Rogaldorn tank and the Brood Coven. So it'll be the Astra Militarum versus the Gene Stealer Colts there. So yeah, it gives us a nice idea of how the armies are going to be dispersed throughout the collection. Maybe the World Eaters will be one that gets sprinkled in over certain issues for extra flavour, and yeah, we'll have it by the end of the 90 issue run. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see what sort of narrative they do for the actual magazine as well. Right, let's take a quick flick through this magazine. There's not a lot to look at. It's a pretty basic magazine for the first issue. So we got our don't miss an issue reminder to hand over to your news agent. Won't be needing that. Then we have our subscription mail away. So yeah, issue 3, if you start from issue 2, you'll get the Infernus Marine issue 3. You also get your first set of cards in that issue as well. Goes over the subscription gifts again, mentions premium, and well, mentions premium twice, once there and then more detail there. Not bad. So starting off, what do we have? So we got Build Guide A, so Build Guide 1, which is our basics. So we got some read articles, welcome to the 41st millennium, basics on Space Marines, basics on Tyranids, collect articles for the Captain and the Winged Prime, and then we have our first game. So for our, excuse me, for our build guide, we have a basics, first of all. So making sure you match up components, checking your numbers on your frames, etc. Safety and handling clippers, making sure you use the flat side of the clipper to be pushed up against the model, not the beveled side there. Otherwise you risk damaging certain parts. How to use your mold line remover. Color coding, so blue parts are previous steps, yellow parts are where to apply glue. We've got an assembly guide icon chart there, and gluing guide. So we don't get glue for some reason with this issue, but make sure you're using a well-ventilated area, reading safety instructions on the glue before you use it. And so yeah, we got the Tyranid Prime here, or the Parasite Mortrex being shown off as our glue example, because it's probably the first model we need to actually glue. So I'm wondering if we do get an issue that comes with glue. That could be interesting in the future, because after the first 2 combat patrols, everything is going to be multi-part models, so we are going to need glue at some point. So continuing with our first guide, it is all one piece, so the introduction and the instructions are all one guide, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, we got our Space Marine Captain there, Winged Tyranid Prime. Moving on to our read articles, so we got Welcome to the 41st Millennium, a little bit of an introduction to the setting. So our 3 main factions, the Imperium, the Brutal War Machine serving the God Emperor, Chaos Space Marines, once mortal followers have fallen to the dark gods of the warp. And then we have Xenos, so this is the Myriad alien nation. Next up, we've got an introduction to Space Marines, the Angels of Death, what combat squads are, how they descend onto the battlefield. A beautiful shot there of an Ultramarine army facing a Tyranid horde. Moving on to Tyranids, the Devouring Swarm. So these are alien creatures that consume anything and everything in their path. Get the monstrous Norn emissary there, which is like a Hive Tyrant, only bigger. After that, we got our collect articles. So one for our Captain there, one for our Tyranid Prime with data sheets on the reverse as well, plus a little information about what is Combat Patrol, which is duplicated there as well. And then we got our first play mission, so an introduction into the game. So core concepts, you got either models or units, you got dice rolls, and then destroying models, plus a table chart for D3. And then we have our first mission, so first strike. We deploy our captain and our wing Tyranid Prime against each other. And yeah, it tells us what dice rolls are required to hit, what ones are required to wound, and the saving throws. And the same here for the captain there as well. And what the Tyranid would have to save. So yeah, all in all, pretty good. And then yeah, you continue to battle yourself, rolling your dice. So yeah, read who wins, whether it's a Space Marine victory or a Tyranid victory. On the back page, so we got another shot of the collection. This is actually the older shot of the collection because we don't have the Wraithguard, we have the Autarch there, we have the Master Possession instead of the Terminators, and we got the Commissar instead of the 3 heavy weapon teams. So it goes to show that some things have changed in from the trial run of the magazine. So yeah, obviously I took some feedback and some things have changed. And yeah, the collection's slightly different to what it is now. But yeah, looking cool either way. I still think the Chaplain on Bike's an odd choice. An extra unit would have been nice. But yeah, paint collection there. And we've got some wound markers to cut out for use in games. Glue them down to a bit of serial card for extra stability and make them a little bit harder not to lose. And keep them in like a little baggie or something. On the back then, finally we got a look at the next 2 issues. So, Von Ryan's Leapers, we learn more about the Tyranid swarms, as well as learning about different deadly organisms of the Tyranids, and we learn to fight with a unit as we get our first unit. Issue 3 comes with 5 Infernus Marines, plus our first set of 12 Battlefield Essential cards. So we burn our foes with the Infernus Marines, we explore the Space Marines and what makes a Space Marine, plus their different chapters. And we learn all about moving and shooting. So yeah, we're slowly learning the basic rules. So, right, I'll bring everything back in, give you my final thoughts on issue 1. So there we have it. That was issue 1 of Combat Patrol, and this is just a quick sort of flick through. I didn't go into too much detail. I'll do that once I actually get my official issue 1. So yeah, I picked this up in WH Smith, $2.99 for 2 £25 characters, I believe, is a pretty good deal. Yeah, it's a not bad starting issue. You at least get 2 a unit for each of your starting combat patrols. It'll be interesting to see what they bring us in future issues. I think, yeah, we're going to get 1 combat patrol per 10 issues. The Space Marine one is definitely going to be done pretty soon, as it is literally the captain, the librarian, the chaplain on bike, the Infernus Marines, and the Terminators. That's your combat patrol. So 5 issues, 6 if they put the Terminators over 2 issues, because it's one medium-sized frame and 1 small frame on the end. So they've done it before, they'll probably do it again. So yeah, I've taken this video long enough as it is. I'm probably going to edit out a fair bit, especially when I start rambling. But yeah, all in all, a really good introductory issue. 2 pretty cool models to get us started. The only thing you don't get, of course, is a toolkit, which you would get in your first delivery, which will be this issue plus issue 2. So at least you can start building your models if you subscribe to the collection through Hachette. So yeah, there we have it. Issue 1 of Combat Patrol, pretty cool. Looking forward to what the collection brings, and I hope you'll join me for the complete series. So yeah, I think I've rambled on long enough. This is going to be over half an hour, even after I edit everything down, I think. But thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, stay safe and happy hobbying. Goodbye.